Well, March has just been marching on like nobody's business. Trying to cram a whole month in one video is no easy feat. It's so much, we just might have to divide it into 2 parts. In the beginning of March, I got asked to do live art for a benefit concert in Malibu, California. It was amazing. So I'm learning a lot about preparedness and how preparing for things actually can really help you do a better job at whatever it is you do. So when I was asked to paint at this benefit concert, I was like, well, I want to know who I'm painting for and what they're about. The organization was called Made in the Streets, and they have a heart for getting kids off of the streets in Nairobi, Kenya, and at least offering an alternative, another option. And then taking that individual and being like, hey, you're individual, you're unique. What is it that you want to do, that you like, that makes you feel alive? I watched this short film that was made. It was this kid named Moses, and at the end of the film, he was asked if there was one thing that you would want Americans to know about you, what would it be? He's like, I would want them to know how far I want to go, which is what the film was titled. So this film became the inspiration for the blank canvas that I wanted to bring to the event. And I began to write messages of hope and love and words that I thought applied. And then really big, I responded to Moses, you will go far. It's not about where we're at in life or what we have or what we've been given or where we grew up or what our story is. It's about the drive. It's about how far you actually want to go. And that was in him. I found a list of all the students and I wrote all the students' names on the canvas. Keith, Kevin, Moses, Nellie. Emmanuel. How do you say that one? Dennis, 3 Dennises. Juster, Kefa. Wait, what? Amina. Zipporah. That's a name I know, because I've read the Bible before. Not the whole thing. Bithinya. Huh? John, Lydia, oh my goodness, there's more kids than I thought. Oncemus, that is not right. That is not how you say that. Litwati? Samuel Litwati. Khadijah. You think that's right? Paul. I can say that one. I might be adding children. Maybe it's prophecy. Now we're gonna go paint over this in Malibu. Packing up to go to Malibu for an art show this weekend. I've been at it for an hour and this is how far I've gotten. I get distracted. And hungry. Alright, we're loaded up and Malibu bound.
You know I'm never wrong. Why disagree? Why disagree?
Whoa, that view is amazeballs. Wow, that's the shoot I'm recording. Holy cow. Oh, my llamas. Ugh, I could die. Holy mother, we're high on a cliff. How do I make it look like I'm a warrior? Woo!
Oh, and then there's JJ.
Always say hi to people. Make eye contact and smile a little. Unless you get the creeper vibe, tone it back. I like for all my paintings to have a deeper meaning, you know, so that like all of them have messages or something underneath, words of hope or life, prayers, blessings, whatever, themes, something that I feel someone needs to hear, know, or see, and then I paint over it. Because it's like with all of us, right? Like we're only what you see on the surface, but there's so much more underneath. There's so much more substance. And so that's kind of how I feel about my art. Like in a way it represents us as people, but then also it's been really cool to see what paintings speak to what people. I believe God speaks in color. I know. Some people are going to disagree, but I disagree with them for disagreeing with me. I had the opportunity to share at the end of the night about the painting, about how inspired I was by the film and how inspired I was to do the painting. And I love getting to share my heart, not just on a canvas, but in the form of storytelling.
If there was one thing that you would want Americans to know about you, what would it be? And he's like, I would want them to know how far I want to go. And it kind of like cuts out, and I'm like, yeah! Like and I found myself just like yelling back at him, like, I hear you, Moses. I am an American, and I know this about you. You know, like your goal has been reached. Essentially, this was just my artist's interpretation of responding to Moses. Please tell him that I know that he wants to go far, and this is my artist's interpretation of affirming, dude, you will go far.
Yes.
And the same is true for all of us here tonight. If you've decided that that's where you want to go, is far, then that's where you're going to go. It's just a matter of you deciding to do that. We're all wired and created differently for a reason. And whatever that is in you that makes your heart feel alive, that makes you go, I want to go far in regards to that, do it.
We were created to really live fully and abundantly, to rise above and beyond what we could even imagine or hope or think. I got to meet the filmmaker and talk about his film, and I got to talk to the gal who's kind of like head of Made in the Streets over here, and they loved the painting and they loved what it was about. They were like, would you be interested in donating your painting to be hung at the school in Kenya? What? Send that baby to Kenya. I love that I got to gift that painting to them. I love that they gifted me with so much hope and inspiration and drive, not just to do that painting, but to keep painting, you know. I truly believe that each of us were wired the way that we're wired, that we have the desires that we do for a reason, that it's not a coincidence, and that there's not a God up there who's like, hey, I like that you like that, but you can't have it. You know, what makes you feel alive and how far you want to go, because you set your sight on that, you can get there. The key is, though, you don't just set your sight on it and you dream about it. You set your sight on it, write it down, and then start doing something about it. Pray to catch the bus, and then you run as fast as you can to catch it. So it's rad because Moses just had a desire for Americans to know how far he wanted to go. But he also ended up encouraging some Americans to want to go far themselves. That's cool. So I'm going to have a painting hung in Nairobi, Kenya. That's crazy. Go after the thing. Moses, if you're watching this, hi.
So as you walk over there, and you might, just see the colors on there layered, like, oh, that's cool. Like with all of us, right? We all have stories, and there's just deeper stuff there. So it is with that painting.